But what about the homeowners still waiting?
You can see the lines.
After we started asking questions, Florida Commerce put boots on the ground and sent employees to see firsthand dozens of homes we told them about across the state, including the Brookins.
We as a state now have to step in because our contractors failed Robert, they failed others, and they literally lied on the forms. They literally lied in the inspections. In someone like Robert's case.
The day after our interview, a contractor visited the Brookins home to see what needed to be repaired, and that week fixed his ramp. Anthony Stevens wonders how much longer he'll have to wait.
I upheld my part of the bargain. Why can't you? And they have not.
During our investigation, Florida Commerce agreed to sit down with us for an interview, telling us they took immediate action after we started asking questions. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hey, Justin.
Nice to meet you. Both of you, right?
Yep.
Okay, we'll put both of you guys right here. An introduction months in the making after 10 Investigate sent email after email to Florida Commerce asking for answers to questions many are seeking.
Are they here for the trailer duty?
People like Mary Simpson, who's waited 4 years for a home.
They said it's going to be a couple of more hours and the trailer will be here. But okay, it's starting to get a little real now. Don't cry.
And Jane Moore, who spent 433 days in a hotel room to come back to a home far from complete.
Now we have the crack along this one too.
All recipients of Rebuild Florida, a program under Florida Commerce, promising homes will be repaired or replaced. None thought it would take this long. Projects that they thought would just take months took years. Some people, of course, are still waiting. Why?
Well, in some cases, the state of Florida didn't have enough funding for some of these individuals. The funding that Florida received from HUD for the IRMA program was not enough.
The state received $480 million earmarked for less than 4,000 homeowners. But as our investigation uncovered, contracts that started out at one price tripled or even quadrupled. At first, the state told us this.
There's not an invoice that's paid that's not scrutinized carefully.
The contracts were supposed to be overseen by the state vendor, IEM, a disaster recovery business that won a $250 million contract to oversee the rebuild program. According to IEM's website, they have been helping states all across the country with disaster recovery.
There's spackle on the walls, there's cracked windows, but they get a letter from Rebuild saying that this project is complete, even though they've complained and complained that this project is not complete. Hearing stuff like that, would you say a project like that is complete?
So we have our team on the ground. They've been communicating and visiting with these homeowners. And if they find anything that needs to be addressed, we are going to address it. These folks are our priority and we're going to help them.
And I want to add too, if our contractor signed off on something as complete, and if it's not actually consistent with the work, in other words, if they're essentially lying and they're saying something is complete but it's not complete, that could be an actual case of fraud.
5 days after first sitting down with us, in a follow-up interview with our Jacksonville reporting partners, the Florida Commerce Secretary said they've formally requested an official fraud investigation.
It's clear that the contractors had not actually, the subcontractors I should say, had not actually completed the work. Whatever was required in the agreement with the homeowner, they had not completed the work, and yet IEM signed off in the inspection. They signed off as complete, and you know, credit to a number of these homeowners, they were able to literally show us that it was not complete.
So IEM could face fraud charges if the investigation finds fraud?
They could, yeah.
IEM declined an on-camera interview
in the aftermath of Hurricane Irma.
Instead, the CEO sent us a taped statement that said in part,
"We regret that a small percentage of residents are still waiting for their homes to be completed, and we understand their frustration. We won't be satisfied until we have resolved every possible unsettled problem."
It's the two cracked and this one that we've been waiting months now for.
But homeowners say complaints went unanswered for years.
They are pretty consistently telling us that they've left messages for IEM, not gotten phone calls back for some time.
After 10 Investigate sent a list of dozens of homeowners upset, the state responded, sending crews from Tallahassee across Florida to meet with rebuild recipients and see the failed repairs and rebuilds firsthand.
After we brought you guys these complaints and these findings from contracts, are there things that you guys are doing now differently?
We're on the ground. We're visiting with these homeowners, and we will ensure that if we find anything that we do not think is safe or decent, we will repair it.
Help some have been waiting for years.
Now, the state put boots on the ground immediately. Homeowners tell us that someone is finally listening. And because of our investigation, they are getting the help they've waited on for years. It's a visit Janet Jackson has been waiting for, one she says is long overdue.
Today was kind of emotional for me because I've been going through this for a while, and the thought that they finally came out and said that they were going to do something about it kind of gave me a little relief. Even here now is coming apart. I didn't even see that one.
Rewind a few months, and she was showing us the problems with her North Jacksonville home she hasn't been able to get the contractor to fix. She was frustrated and emotionally exhausted.
I think it's ludicrous. It shouldn't have taken this long to repair a home. When you close, see?
She joined the Rebuild Florida program in 2019, grateful to get help repairing the damage Hurricane Irma caused. But years later,
there's work that have not been completed. Too small to make a blind. Still got garbage bags to our windows where we can't even get blinds put up because they didn't leave any space for any blinds to go up. When they did the attic, they blew the insulation in the attic. It sits right in the front. As soon as you open the attic, falls down. Woo.
During her wait, the cost of her taxpayer-funded project to repair her home quadrupled from $30,000 to $123,000, according to records we obtained. And the state paid for her to spend months in a hotel.
Tell me how long you were in a hotel?
6 months, 14 days.
And how much did that cost taxpayers?
$20,192.
What do you think about that?
That's somebody's money that could be on another house for somebody's in need.
Jane Moore knows her frustration. She spent 433 days in a hotel room, costing Rebuild more than $86,000. That's more than the final scope of work the contractor charged to repair her Tampa home.
I would come home every day to check the mail. And every day, I would notice that no one's been here. Month after month after month.
We were only supposed to be there for 90 days.
Nicole Graves never expected her family would be living out of a hotel for more than a year while they waited for Rebuild to deliver their new mobile home.
And we had to use 2 rooms because there were 6 of us. Maximum occupancy is 4. And because of the 2 rooms, the total bill was close to $80,000.
Sean Moulton is with the nonpartisan watchdog group called Project on Government Oversight.
The length of stays we've seen in some of these hotels raises serious questions about whether or not the urgency was put on the homes that it should have been put on.
We went to Tallahassee to get answers.
Thankfully, the average cost for the Hurricane Irma program is actually still per home one of our actually it is our cheapest program we've ever had in terms of the cost for whether it's repairs or rebuilds.
The Secretary of Florida Commerce says the state made the decision to provide temporary housing at no cost to homeowners.
Do you stand by that decision when we're looking at hotel bills? I mean, here's one, $76,000 for one family. We've seen $100,000 upwards of that for one family to stay in a hotel. Is that a wise use of taxpayer money?
Some of those decisions are difficult. I'm not saying they're not. Some of those decisions are difficult because as we get into some of these situations for individual homeowners, we can definitely see that our contractor IEM and or one of our subcontractors who's actually doing the construction work, we can definitely see instances where those contractors could have gotten to the end of this process more quickly.
The state awarded IEM a 6-year, $252 million contract in 2018 to administer the Rebuild Florida Irma program. IEM says it didn't have direct oversight to manage the contractors hired by Florida Commerce to carry out the work until 2021.
So did IEM, Justin, drop the ball?
In some cases, yes.
Justin Domer, director of the Office of Long-Term Resiliency, says the state has imposed about $3.5 million in fines on IEM.
And clearly, our main contractor, IEM, clearly some of our contractors, clearly they were okay with abdicating their responsibility.
IEM declined an interview, but in a statement said, "We acknowledge the concerns raised by a small number of overall homeowners regarding incomplete and subpar work on their properties. These homeowner complaints are being addressed. The homeowners you've heard from represent less than 1% of the population being served by the Rebuild Florida Irma homes."
You see them?
After we gave Florida Commerce the names of about 24 homeowners still waiting for rebuild, they sent representatives to 27 homes, including Janet Jackson's, to see their concerns in person.
And he said we definitely will be back to do a lot of the stuff that has not been done.
We're going to be back and we're going to try to make sure you're satisfied.
I think if your reporting would not have taken place, I would still be just writing notes, just writing emails. I thank you guys for stepping in to help me and all of the others that you all have helped.
Florida Commerce told us that they have found suspected fraud, and they say the roughly 300 homes that still need more work must be finished by this July.
All of my doors have no threshold boards. Air just goes right in through it. This thing right here, all my doors are hung crooked.
It's been 3.5 years since Fred Brooks signed an agreement with the DEO, now known as Florida Commerce.
I was excited. I was like, praise Jesus.
To receive a new house through the Rebuild Florida program to replace his home.
Look at the corners on every window.
That was damaged by Hurricane Irma.
The red light, that's the alarm on the septic tank saying that the pump's not working.
Brooks says he can't live in his new house because the septic tank collapsed after it was installed.
He drove up and down this place, right over the septic tank.
And that's not his only complaint.
You look here at the plan, it says right here, okay? It's got a top cap, it's got a bottom cap.
He's talking about these columns.
This is what the state paid for. This is what I was awarded. That's not what they're getting. Cracked window right there.
Inside, his frustration continues.
This thing right here, this thing's always been, it's not able to hook up to the end.
He showed us a heated text exchange he had with a Rebuild Florida inspector last November.
I'm gonna get every blade of it, is what I told her.
The last time he says anyone with the program visited his home.
It was 3 months later before they would do anything, before they would even talk to me.
The state also provided us with a string of messages Brooks sent that they say raises concerns for workers' safety.
In the case of Mr. Brooks, that is a challenging one. He has, and this is not easy to talk about, he has actually threatened to kill the contractors multiple times.
Brooks, who is not facing any charges, disputes that and says he just wanted the contractors exposed.
Maybe I went through this so that I can stand up and point it out and do some good that way.
So now his house, a project that cost $434,000 according to public documents, sits empty.
It was supposed to take a year, year and a half. It's been 3 years plus. It'll be 4 years next December. And I had to fight with them all the way.
Our months-long statewide investigation found dozens of homeowners who are still waiting for Rebuild to finish their projects. The state awarded IEM, a disaster recovery business, a $252 million contract to administer the program. IEM says it's made extraordinary progress in just 5 years against incredible odds. The company says 95% of the roughly 4,000 homes are complete, despite global supply chain disruptions, additional storms, labor shortages, and pandemic shutdowns.
Your call may be monitored or recorded for quality or training purposes.
The company says its call center and case management team are for homeowners to contact when issues arise.
Thank you for calling the Rebuild Florida program.
Oh, yes, ma'am. This is Mary Gill. I'm calling to check on my case.
But homeowners we spoke with say the lack of communication is troubling.
And I can't even live in my home right now. I've called y'all plenty of times.
And Secretary Alex Kelly, the head of Florida Commerce, has heard the same thing.
We've consistently heard from these homeowners, that no one at IEM, no one at the subcontract will call them back. No one will just answer the question and deal with the problem.
IEM declined our multiple requests for an interview, but sent a video of the company's CEO who says they're dedicated to serving the people of Florida and the remaining homes should be finished by the end of the contract this July. Many of those still waiting feel neglected, sharing their stories on this Facebook page and with us.
When that contractor throws their hands up and just abdicates that responsibility to somebody else, of course, in each one of those cases, we step in.
After we gave the state about 24 names of homeowners we spoke with,
you can see the lines.
Florida Commerce sent employees to their homes to see their complaints firsthand.
Based on our review, going and actually talking with the homeowners, actually looking at what they identified as concerns, I think probably about 3/4 of those 36, I think they failed in one way or another. And there's a portion of those, I think about 16 or so, that they marked as complete and they were not complete, which is falsifying information.
Kelly credits homeowners for speaking out. This month, he says his office referred its first case of suspected fraud to the state attorney's office.
IEM signed off on the completeness of work, and we had clear evidence, photographic evidence, that that was a lie. So we referred that case to the state attorney in Fort Myers.
So IEM could face fraud charges if the investigation finds fraud?
They could, yeah.
IEM says it has seen no evidence of fraud, and the case in question was an excusable human error by an inspector. The company says it refunded the $50,000 in question until the matter is further reviewed by Commerce. Both IEM and the state say they are committed to getting those in the Rebuild Florida program back into their homes.
July.
This July,
all
the work will be finished for the Hurricane Irma program.
The contract for the contractors ends then, so they must finish it in July. We know that there's about 300 homes that still need to get closed out, and that's a real issue for 300 families, 300 groups of people who have vulnerabilities. So our goal was to get those done, and if we have to drag IEM across the finish line to make sure that those homeowners get what they're supposed to, they get completeness, they get a safe home to return to, we'll drag them across the finish line.
And another twist in all of this. One man contacted us after he says he just wants to get out of the Rebuild Florida program. He wants to buy out his contract, but the state says to do that, he has to pay nearly $700,000. A picture is worth 1,000 words.
It's hard to look at.
For Robert Kayan, these pictures make it hard for him to even speak. His family home of 30 years destroyed by Hurricane Irma in 2017.
We entered the Rebuild Florida program shortly after.
Even 7 years later,
Let's see.
the Kayans are still waiting to get back home.
The construction took approximately 3 years.
The home is now finished.
So this is the finished home.
But the Kayans' contract is different from the others 10 Investigate spent months scouring through.
We were not occupying the residence at the time the home was destroyed.
Their home is currently in the Rebuild Florida rental program. It requires them to rent the home out to a low to medium income family for a period of 5 years.
They require that we rent it out for 30% of the low to medium income qualifications. And unfortunately, that amount doesn't cover the cost of property taxes or insurance to maintain the property. So unfortunately, we will lose this home very soon if we don't find.
Investors, if you're still unable to achieve the portfolio results you're looking for, it might be time to recalibrate your approach.
A viable solution.
He says one solution he thought would work would be to sell his home, so he listed it.
We received a demand letter that stated that we were not allowed to list it for sale, and they demanded $777,000 back if we did in fact proceeded with the sale of the home.
Robert was shocked. The state asked for $777,000 because in the agreement, this section stipulates that if he wanted to sell the property or if he was otherwise breaking the contract, the recipient shall pay to DEO an amount equal to 100% of the dispersed grant amount.
They won't allow us to sell the property and pay back the contractor.
We took Robert's case straight to the Secretary of the Department of Commerce, which oversees the Rebuild Florida Hurricane Irma Repair and Replacement Program.
The only way he was eligible to participate in a program was he signed an agreement that was with the state of Florida, and it met HUD regulations, met regulations in law, that as long as he promised to continue to rent to low to moderate income residents for another 5 years, I believe, through 2028, as long as he upheld that promise, he was then eligible. He essentially tried to make a profit off of what was originally a promise to rent the home out to low to moderate income residents.
Robert says they cannot pay the nearly $15,000 in insurance and taxes, so they listed in an abundance of caution.
We have to pay several $100s a month to keep our own home while somebody else is occupying it. we will lose the home very soon.
Let's see.
The 63-year-old says at this point, he just wants to move back home.
My wife and I, we deserve to have our home back.
And this investigation isn't stopping here. We continue to receive complaints and stories from those waiting for rebuild.
We are keeping a close eye on the homes that have yet to be finished, and we will be posting updates on the websites here on your screen, where you can also share your own waiting for rebuild story. Thanks for watching.